games on Miramar, but I do agree with Hypoc. They that specific circle, for whatever reason, Monty, they just don't do well. They've tried the same thing multiple times with the Junkyard, and it just doesn't work. So I'm hoping Oath kind of gets it together there. And Illusion, I'm still banking on Illusion, man. They were kind of like my X Factor pick for the day, and there has not been a lot of factor coming in from them. They had like a decent first and second game, but yeah, been a little quiet, Clover.
Well, you know, and I would give it to them. I mean, Illusion did come off that mountaintop in the last match. It worked well in their favor, and as we get that next circle pop, this is almost... Now, kind of taking another overhead view, we can see Monty off to the distance there on the left, and it actually looks like, we've got a couple of teams at 3 HP. Do you continue to sit up here, or do you try and, you know, shift away already if you're taking this much fire?
I mean, I don't really think Top Dog is in the best position here. He's not...
A Ranger in the dip is going to get found by Ice Tech. That is a knock, and Liberate should get the flush pretty easy onto this, as the rest of Illusion has pulled back into the compound. Liberate's kind of bullied them off from them into this compound until Liberate is no longer a factor into this. Couple of throwables are out, but that utility is going to run out quickly. As Lush fighting Top Dog. That's one player down, and here comes the hard push coming in from Liberate now. As it looks like, I think Ice Tech almost catching on fire from that Molotov. They're waiting for it to finish out.
Yeah, they're going to push up here. The Molly was a nice little... is that a smoke?
Oh, it's a smoke. Okay.
Ice Tech's already so close. He can go here for the peek. Is he going to get it? No! Icy Flex!
Icy Flex immediately picking up that flush. Has not had time to res Top Dog yet, but we can see off in the distance, Free Me Please, actually going to get down at it and Liberate. In the blink of an eye, actually goes down. Illusion manages to hold their own here in the two.
Any capacity to get into team fights or even just individual duels, because they generally win them every time. And that's what's so impressive about STK.
Curdy's going to find another knock here, and it's just up to Melon, who is in the long building. Couple shots there towards Alo, but they're going to exchange damage down to 27 HP, and immediately that beautiful nade there. I love it. You know, SDK and throwables, we joke about it. I know it's a meme, but there's not a whole lot of action going on to the south. And, as I say that, looks like might actually be having just a little bit popping off, as Exodus and Oath, who are just barely to their north, are going to start fighting and onto Exodus, but now walking in onto Oath, who've started to fall apart just a bit from an angle.
Yeah, this is really rough. Really rough for Oath.
Not quite sure what it's happened to them for today. STK, Comets, and Exodus all no longer in the zone. As you see Snakers try and pick up, but Hardships! Hardships coming on right on top of this here. And it's unfortunate for Oath, who's got one more down.
Hardships have such a good position.
Team's still alive.
Yeah, there's still quite a lot of people for this circle, and that will happen on Miramar, where we basically get a nice clump of teams, and then all of a sudden one circle changes it, and we go from 50 to 60 players alive instantly down to 20 to 30, and I think that's actually what is going to happen. Maybe not this shift, but absolutely the next shift, especially if this many players are still left alive, because there's just not that much playable terrain. You do have the hills where Oath are. You have a few pockets of positions where you can play little deflades, but this is pretty much it. After this, it's going to be very barren, and we're already starting to see players fall.
Yeah, I mean, Wildcard and Radiance up here to the north. We've seen the kill feed absolutely light up. Batty and Low still up, or I spoke too soon. Sharpshot's actually going to get the knock onto Waldo, and then a blink of an eye, Elusive going out. Los actually getting that last little final, as it looks like what was left of Radiance clear. Still Los.
Yeah, Lo says he's been surviving, but I think his days are numbered, as most of 303 is going to be looking at him. Honey Badger taking shots, not going to connect with anything, but he still doesn't really have anywhere to go. Wildcard is
watching out for Los, but we can see a couple other players of 303 taking shots towards Wildcard. D-Rich is actually going to find Keenan, and there you have it. Honey Badger finishing out Los. 303 can now completely change their tune, their focus on Wildcard, and go to this circle, as it actually looks like Wildcard's going to be taking a lot of fire now from Comets. Meanwhile, Sonic's
difficult for teams to find any sort of playable terrain here in these final circles. I mean, if you're not Hardships, you're kind of in a little bit of trouble, or you're at the very least about to fight a team. But SDK
to kill
onto Sonics now.
I mean, Shrimsy is completely taken out. Mime has been flushed. You've only got 2 still standing up for Sonics. It's Profi and Hwin, who at least for right now are a little protected. Comet's kind of coming in, taking out Victor, so he's no longer an issue. He actually doesn't quite have the angle onto this down the ridgeline, but you see Alo and the rest of Shoot to Kill not letting Sonics kind of recovers. We see them really hard focused on this right now, letting the gas off Oath just a bit, because they know that right now their biggest threat is going to be Sonics coming in from this.
Yeah, they absolutely had to. I mean, realistically, though...
That circle shift is going to spell trouble for SDK as well, as
so
Oath is in the
rough.
prime position to wait for them here. It means they're going to have to finish up this fight very quickly with this Sonics. And it actually looks like Sonics are going to get an opening knock there. Hwin falls. Meanwhile, Exodus is eliminated, but smokes are out. And so back up to 4-man strong. And there you go. Alo with the push onto Oath. This is where they need to go.
Alo has been ridiculous today. I mean, he's always just insane, but I think specifically today, he has just been killing it. There's another knock from Alo.
Ooh, and this time it's Profi. Oh, this is this is
safe.
really what you wanted to see from SDK. We've kind of talked about their strengths on Miramar, and right now they're taking that away from Oath as Alo yet again finds more damage. Can't find the knock just yet. Shoot to Kill with 7 kills right now to their name, trying to get themselves into the circle. They've got to take out Oath to get there. But Hwin and Profi are still alive, and this could be biting at their Achilles heel as they're down to the hill, have angle on this. But meanwhile, off in the distance as well, Yaxley's kind of rotated into the shack, could have an angle onto Sonics here, but Uncivil is going to find Hwin immediately picking up that flush, and that's 1 player left now for Sonics.
Oh, wait a second.
Oh, Alo.
Could he find another one? Taking the shots now. Profi doing peak battles. He's got another member of Uncivil covering him. Alo going low right.
Oh,
This could be Yaxley again. Yaxley has stolen 2 or 3 kills from this position.
Immediately picking that up. We saw Alo kind of scope it as we see Zenith coming in from the other side. They're setting up for that next circle shift. We're into phase 6, which means there's a good possibility that it could move away from this angle, but that's going to sandwich Oath here. As there you go. Alo actually finds a nice angle onto Balefrost. Can't get the knock, though, down to 29 HP, but this opens up for Zenith, who's coming in for the hard push.
And Shaba, that's actually a separate fight altogether, but here we go. Wait a second. Kickstart now!
Ooh! Oath immediately eliminated. Zenith trying to clean up. Kickstart picking up 2 onto this, but also in that Luke 12 falls, and Shoot to Kill was starting out strong, down to just 2 players. Zenith was very patient into this.
Zenade.
Oh, and they're going to get another knock onto Uncivil. It is just 1 left up for this, and that is Kurt. Oh, where do you go?
I mean, I'm not counting Kurt out. He has done some ridiculous things in the last couple weeks.
To see the circle once again shifting in favor of Zenith. Yaxley still in the zone with his shack, but down off to the west as well. We can see Harshus and Fabled still at it. Oh.
You see that, right? Sorry. Aside from this, we saw Fabled actually got onto the position of Harshus that has now knocked a few of them as we're getting trades.
Ooh, and I mean, the kill feed lighting up as well. As you can see, Supernova actually cleaning house right now, taking out multiple players. It's just J-Sync who's still up for the hard shifts. Hell, it might have a good angle on to see Supernova with that push. Can't find him just yet. Supernova's only at 46 HP. Needs to be careful. Gets them out. And that is it for hard shifts. Meanwhile, STK has been found as well. Zenith will pick that up. We're down to just... Shoot to Kill still in first place,
so
but there you go. Nice angle here from Fabled, who's in second. Hella getting that knock onto D-Rich, but they should have some safety. They can get this res off quickly before Zenith chooses to push back down, but here we go, sending it right now. Fabled taking those vehicles, looking for that next shift rotation. That's going to take him right at the back doors of, Zenith, but I don't think they were expecting Landoon here. Is going to knock out with Supernova and Tanaka. And then blink of an eye. Landoon.
I gotta say... That was, I'm sorry to cut you off. That was insane from Landoon, but they had to have known with that knock on D-Rich that he was probably not alone. And that, I think, was a huge oversight on Fabled.
And 303 as well now kind of, I think, just taking a bit of a breather for recovery. Zenith immediately taking, full in Honey Badger now, trying to find some safety in this. And once again, Yaxley is also still alive and has the possibility to third party this as well. We've seen him pick up a couple points in the second. He does. Yaxley flushing out 303 as he's going to take out Honey Badger. And Xena, I mean, all it takes is one knock, and Yaxley's going to turn the odds back in his favor. He's got the barrel out, waiting for that close push. I think he hears Lada coming right up onto him, but Mystery's got the angle. It doesn't matter. A headshot, and Zenith wins it there with 9 kills as we finish out day number 1. You know what? This